Hi everyone, I'm Margarita Muradova, a personal stylist and fashion consultant from Kyiv, Ukraine. And in today's video, we're gonna talk about skirts, and I'm wearing one today. And I'm actually wearing a very trendy one. And we'll talk about specifically the most trending skirts of the moment for the spring and also partially for the summer, because you know, spring and summer have a lot in common in terms of different styles and shapes, etc. So when we're talking about spring, we're always partially kind of transferring some of these items and trends onto summer. And before we start, I'd like to say that from the beginning of Russian war in Ukraine, I've always been pointing out and making sure to leave some very helpful links down below in the information box under my videos. And what I mean by that is always and forever until the end of this gruesome, crazy Russian war in Ukraine, there's going to be, first of all, some links, tried and true links for actual real news about what's happening in Ukraine at the moment, but also some helpful links for you to donate to, first of all, Ukrainian army and also people who suffered this war. So people who are refugees, people who have been injured during the war, etc., etc. So just for you to know, this is always and forever going to be in the info box down below. Let's start with the first trending skirt, and this one definitely and always reminds me of Corinne Reutefold. I love her style. First of all, I just love the fact that her style is so impeccable and it hasn't changed a bit over the last 20 years or something, because she has her own definition of what she likes, of the shapes and style formulas she wears. And one of the main style formulas that she uses and outfit formulas that she uses in her outfits is specifically a pencil skirt, a knee length or just above the knee length pencil skirt, and then a body hugging top or an oversized top, and then heels. You can see her night and day in this kind of look, and it sits her so well. And I love the fact that she doesn't change her style according to what's trending. So for example, a couple of years back, these kinds of pencil skirts specifically were not top of the trend, were not anywhere in fashion magazines, on runways, etc., etc. And yet still we saw her wearing this thing looking absolutely bomb, because this is just a part of her style. She doesn't go by what's trending, she goes by what she's feeling and her own personal style. And what I'm always saying to our students in our online fashion education platform and to my clients is it's not about what's in fashion, because fashion is just basically like a newspaper, like a newscast, suggesting things that are trending at the moment. But it's your specific choice that matters and determines your style. So what you pick and choose from all of the options available is what's important. So imagine yourself in a grocery store. There's a lot of stuff in there. There's some seasonal items, there's something like tropical fruit, coconuts, etc., etc. It doesn't necessarily mean that everything that's out there in the grocery store is supposed to come with you home. You always pick and choose what items do you want, what you're craving, and this is unique to you, just as your style is unique to you. So what she did all these years, throughout all of the 20 years that I've been looking at her in her style, she's been true to herself. So she knows that this specific style of a skirt and the shape suits her well, because her body is basically like a very rectangular shape, not a specific definition of her waistline, but also not a very voluminous hip to her. So she knows that, and that's the reason she clings to some body hugging shapes and balances out her proportions that way. So I specifically, for myself and for my clients and overall, love this kind of a basic style of a pencil skirt, and I love that they're coming back to the top trending fashion charts, because I feel like if we're talking specifically about people with a plus size or regular size, it fits everybody absolutely, because depending on the length, depending on the depth of the print or the material, of the grit of the material, it could suit absolutely everybody, and it could always always be balanced out with something pretty body hugging up top or something oversized to make this kind of look more current. So I love pencil skirts. They're absolutely amazing. The only thing that I feel like there's a downside to them because of their length and because of their specific style. What's really bothering me most of the time is when people wear pencil skirts without a heel, without a platform, without anything, even without a like pointy sharp toe, because then what we see is that the proportions of your body are kind of distorted because this is a very body hugging skirt, and therefore because it hides the basic part, the upper part of your thighs and of your legs, it kind of ruins your bodily proportions. And unless you wear a heel or a sharp pointy toe or a platform, whatever it is, something that is going to lengthen your legs and your silhouette, you will end up with a kind of different, not very flattering proportion to your body. So with pencil skirts, one thing to note is always to make sure to balance out the length and the body huggingness of the skirt with something that's going to elongate your silhouette. And then the next skirt that's very trendy, but I feel like is also very controversial, is a balloon skirt. It's very trendy and it's come here through this whole negative anti-trend rage that's been happening for the last 10 to 15 years about the balloon skirt, because it's been trending, it's been very actually trending popular in like the 2000s, 2008, I want to say, 2010, and then it kind of disappeared for obvious reasons because there's the fashion pendulum that's swinging back and forth, so it's absolutely okay for something to be in trend and then to go out of style. It's absolutely okay, but at the moment, I love a balloon skirt, don't get me wrong, but it needs a lot of balancing acts to support it and for it not to distort your proportions. So what I mean by that is when you're wearing a balloon skirt and it's very voluminous, and it's also very voluminous in not the most flattering way, because the most volume that it has, it usually happens around the knee area, and the knee area is usually the area you need to be very careful about, because once you add some volume to the knee area, you're going to cut your proportions, you're going to make yourself look shorter and also wider down below. So what I mean by that is that you always have to balance out this balloon skirt with something either very body hugging or cropped up top, and then again a proper shoe. What I mean by a proper shoe, this could be, for example, something that is going to lengthen your legs and kind of reverse the effect of shortening your legs by a balloon skirt. It could be a heel, it could be a platform, it could be a pointy toe. If you're not into heels or platforms, as I've said previously multiple times on this channel, a pointy toe on ballet flats or on Mary Janes or whatever is an absolutely amazing tool for you to kind of compensate the absence of a heel or a platform, because this is going to lengthen your legs and your silhouette all together. So this is a way to go for sure. But also you can go for over the knee boots with a pointy toe, for example. That would be an amazing option and combo. And these over the knee boots need to kind of go under the skirt. So basically they're going to create a full wholesome line from your toes to your thigh area, something that's going to be a continuation of your leg line. Therefore, it's not going to disrupt the whole process of your legs and like the whole length of your legs. It's not going to kind of cut them. And it's also going to elongate the silhouette altogether, kind of balancing out your balloon skirt proportions at the same time. So I feel like this is the best way to go. And in terms of tops, always go for something either body hugging or cropped, because if you add more volume up top, what you end up with is like just a lot of the same thing, and all the textures and all the fabrics and all the volumes are going to swallow you up and distort your proportions. The next skirt that's very popular, we've been talking about a midi skirt for a long time now, but at this moment the most popular skirt is actually a maxi skirt. You need to get the longest maxi skirt you could get on the market, and that's going to be the way to go. And it could be a leather maxi skirt, it could be a kind of pleather maxi skirt, it could be a cotton maxi skirt, it could be a linen maxi skirt. Whatever it is, it needs to be a super maxi. It needs to go to the floor and kind of drape down there, or at least kind of touch the floor in some way, or be above the floor, like 1 centimeter above the floor. And it better be either straight or just a bit A-lined, not too much of an A-line so that it doesn't look too much like 60s inspired, but kind of an A-line to the bottom. And this could be a silk skirt, a denim skirt, whatever it is, it needs to be maxi. And since it's not too voluminous, you can always add some volume up top. So it could be a sweater, it could be an oversized blazer and a crop top, and then a maxi skirt. And if this maxi skirt is also low waist or mid waist, it's going to be the most trendy look ever, because the more skin you show, especially when you're wearing something that is totally covering your whole bottom part, when you're trying to balance this whole coverage out, you need to show some skin or wear something body hugging. So unless you're wearing something body hugging, if you're wearing something very oversized, like a jacket, like an oversized jacket, I suggest going for a crop top and showing a bit of a skin, like a bit of a belly or like a bit of a rib. And therefore, it's going to kind of compensate for the whole coverage down below. And I feel like this is the best option to go for. And I love maxi skirt because, first of all, there's one huge myth going around the fashion world still, that maxi skirts are not for petite girls. And this is absolute trash of a myth, because I feel like this is so beautiful. It looks absolutely amazing on petite girls. The only thing is, you always need to make sure to tailor things to your body and to your height. And this actually concerns a lot of people, not only petite girls, because when you're buying jeans and they're too long, you need to tailor them, you need to shorten them. And same goes for skirts and other stuff in your closet. So it doesn't matter if you're petite or if you're tall, you always need to make sure that the clothes fit your body properly, and the clothes are actually altered to your body's proportions, because all of our bodies are so different. There's no such thing as the same kind of body type. Yes, there's body types, but within this range, there's so many varieties of these types and proportions. So you always need to make sure to tailor things to yourself. And this concerns maxi skirts as well. So they don't need to drag on the floor. They can be just like touching the floor, just like 1 centimeter above the floor. Always make sure that this fits you. But for each and every person, this is going to look amazing. Also, it looks absolutely beautiful with a heel, without a heel, with a sneaker, with a clog, with an Ugg. Even though I absolutely despise Uggs, this is going to look amazing with short Uggs as well, with clogs, with heels, with platforms, with ballet flats, with Mary Janes, with beautiful chunky boots, with combat boots, with the 60s inspired tiny boots. Everything is going to look beautiful with a maxi skirt, because maxi skirt in itself is a very drama moment. There's so much of it, there's so much fabric to it, that it still makes the statement, even though the skirt could be like a simple denim skirt, a simple velvet skirt, whatever it is, it's still going to make a statement. So you don't necessarily need to go overboard on accessories and stuff. You just need to make sure to balance out the proportions of your look. And the last skirt I'm going to talk about is actually a total diagonal, absolutely different thing to the one we've been talking about previously. This is the miniest mini skirt ever, the absolute mini belt-like skirt you can imagine. And this one, just think Miu Miu shows, think Prada, think Ukrainian brand called Naked. Everything that looks like a belt but is styled as skirt, this is the thing that we need to go for. And I know this is not a trend for everyone, but hear me out. I feel like this is a beautiful trend in terms of styling. There's so many options to go for. And obviously, in and of itself, a mini skirt is very sexy. So in order to balance out the sexiness of the skirt, especially for the daytime wear, I'm usually suggesting going to go for an oversized top, like an oversized sweater, an oversized polo neck, an oversized jacket, blazer, whatever it is, something that is going to add some volume to this mini skirt, and also that's going to bring something different than the sexiness that's inherent to the skirt. So for example, you're wearing a micro mini skirt by Miu Miu, by Cult Naked, whatever that is. And up top, I suggest, for example, at least going for a long sleeve or a t-shirt and an oversized blazer. This is going to look balanced out. This is going to look beautiful. And something to add to this whole ensemble is, for the daytime specifically, either a longer ripped sock and a loafer or a sneaker, something totally different in terms of a style. So the skirt is very sexy and drama, and the shoes are going to be very sporty. Or something that is going to kind of cover the majority, or at least like a significant part of your leg length. Therefore, that's going to make the look less revealing as sexy. So what I mean by that is, for example, a kind of 60s/70s style boot. I don't know if you see this one on me. This is basically a new collection's The Row square boot. This one is a knee-high kind of a boot. These are very, very popular. These were also very popular in the 90s. So this could be an option to go for. Also an over-the-knee boot, obviously, but also something that is basically like calf length. So just something that is going to cover the majority of your legs, or at least a significant part of your leg, in order to kind of make the look less revealing, to balance out the sexiness of the look for the daytime. And for nighttime, obviously, you can always go all in, wear your heels, wear the micro skirt, wear a crop top, and then I'd wear something like a different kind of oversized layer, like a see-through sheer blouse or an oversized blazer, just to kind of balance out the sexiness of the look. And this is basically the formula I usually go for. If you've seen this on my channel, I'm pretty sure you've noticed. What I usually make sure to go for in terms of styling a look is to balance out and to add different styles, and stylistically totally different styles. So something from the opposite ends of the spectrum. So something sexy and something very masculine and like inherently unsexy. Something very feminine, something very masculine, something very classy, something very sporty. And this is the formula that is going to work for each and every item that's trendy, that's not trendy, that's in your closet, that is in someone's closet, that's selling in the online retailer store. If you're thinking of finding a piece or styling a piece that you have, or you're looking at a piece and thinking, how can I style it? Always make sure to think of the style of the specific piece. So for example, for this skirt, this would be a very sexy drama style, dramatic, like very like dark and daring. And then think of something totally stylistically opposite. So something very boyish, something very like relaxed, something very casual, a long sleeve, a polo neck, a sweater, an oversized blazer, a turtleneck. So something that is going to balance out the sexiness of the skirt, and this is going to be the best tried and true formula to create a perfect balanced out look. And this is it for this video. Let me know in the comments below, first of all, your favorite trendy skirt of the season out of all the things I've mentioned today, and second of all, let me know the worst skirt that's trendy at the moment that you absolutely despise and you're not happy about returning into fashion. And yeah, this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!